Hello everyone, back here with Purrfect 8. This game, honestly. Yeah, back with Purrfect 8. We're going on chapter 4. You know, I think Floofy Butt needs a bit of love. Why not? I'm not sure what to expect. I've come to the forest of Floofy Butt for what I assume would be a pleasant way to spend my afternoon off work. But I have now discovered that he's billing it as an informative afternoon of instruction and practical participation. That's suspiciously like a lecture to me. Oh well, as Professor Portpaw would say, a scientist must keep an open mind. Well, you have to have a very open mind considering everything's going on. Bloody hell. This is something I would normally do alone, but you strike me as a like-minded soul, interested in both gastronomic and anatomic pleasures. Perhaps now would be a good time to lay down the blanket I asked you to bring. We don't want to put that tender skin of yours under duress. Yeah, I'm pretty much joined that bit of, dashboard. Okay. I'll lay the blanket on the floor, crowd awkwardly, and wonder where he's going with this. Relax a little, this doesn't usually take very long. Suddenly with that warning, there's a loud plop as a bird plummets out of the sky onto the... Told you so! Oh my, it's dead! As I don't know. But what happened to it? Just the force field, of course. Now, enough foolish questions, General. Let's get started, shall we? Just the lectures from my uni. What exactly are we doing here, Fluffy Butt? I told you, don't use a ridiculous name. I prefer Major, if you would, please. What exactly are we doing here, Major? Major reminds me of the, that British actor who died recently, actually. Shame, really. This is my little surprise. I'm a bird fancier. Oh, and you fancy your birds dead? Quite! All the better to practice my other pursuit. I am going to regret asking this, but what pursuit would that be, Major? I'm a self-taught pathologist. You mean, as in post-mortem? Somewhat rudimentary, don't you know, but I can now find my way around the innards of the average seagull with remarkable dexterity. Yes, well, whatever floats your boat, I'm interested in crossword puzzles myself. Not everyone's cup of tea, but it occupies my afternoon. Okay, back to the task at hand, Eleanor. I shall now begin the autopsy. Keep your wits about you, there will be questions at the end. Ah, I knew this was a lecture. Bluebird pings out razor sharp claws and begins to go into town on the bird. Well, that is what cats do. They often just tear apart animals and then look at you, they've done nothing. Incision from sternum to base. On examination, the skeleton appears to be quite typical. Note there is no break in the neck, indicating that the force field, rather than the fall, killed the bird. I feel rather queasy. Oh really? Yes, point of interest. Sometimes the initial zap the bird receives from flying into the force field merely stuns them, and it is the impact of the fall which provides the fault blow. This chap, however, appears to suffer cardiac arrest. You can see from the size, or lack thereof, of the heart that even a minor jolt could be enough to induce a seizure. Seizure. Yeah. Having removed the tiny organ, Major's now begin digging around inside the carcass as though rummaging in a lucky dip. Now, moving intros from further examination. Oh, do get a better look at it all. It's rather revealing. I can see something in the stomach sack. Oh, this reminds me of that bloody Dracula Dead and Loving It with Dr. Van Helsing, and he was scaring the shit out of all of his students, going, "Here we go, we'll slice this open," and they were all just collapsing. Here, examine it. Stomach sack? Yeah, it looks like... Oh my, it's gold! Our lucky day, Eleanor. Here, have a look. It's some kind of nugget. Oh, thank you, Major. I'm not in the mood of playing with the contents of a seagull's stomach. Don't be ridiculous. This is not a game, Eleanor. May I remind you that we are in the middle of a very serious post-mortem, and I expect you, as my assistant, to maintain professionalism. My stomach is doing flips. I hold the object between thumb and forefinger. What is this thing? It's so small, it kind of looks like a... Cripes, it's a tooth! Major, it's a gold tooth! Ah, good find! You're a natural! I can't help but wonder why a seagull would have a gold tooth in its stomach. That's a good question. Presumably, Major, this is from the mouth of a human. I think you're probably right! So how did it get in the seagull? What an inquiring mind! You would make an excellent apprentice. If you like, I could pass on to you the skills I have acquired. That would be a feather in your cap. Eh? I resign myself to the fact that he's not going to be drawn into speculation. Okay, well, I'll bear that in mind, Major. I didn't have the heart to tell him that I came to my class of veterinary surgery. And now to the victor of the spoils. Don't be shy. I've already carved. Oh gosh. Do you mean? Of course, Tucken. We won't stand on the ceremony here. It's a good one too. Plenty of fat. I have to think fast. Do I really want to eat a raw seagull carved up by a cat in the forest? Yeah, why not? I suppose it would be frightfully rude to refuse now, seeing as it's gone all the trouble of carving. Oh, see me, I already had it before we came out, but it looks so delicious that I simply must try a tiny bit, a morsel. Very well, Eleanor, then I will leave you to the tastiest part of all, the liver. The cat definitely tears the organs out of the carcass, but it's me on the fat paw. Very fatty. Oh, wow, that's too much, Major. I mean, too generous. As tempted as I am, I simply couldn't. Nonsense, Eleanor, I insist. I would feel a very poor host indeed if my guest refused my hospitality. Okay, Eleanor, you can do this. Think of it as liver and onions, the way Mum makes it. Okay, breathe, don't think of it. Just take it and swallow it whole, like an iron pill. I'm really going to enjoy the seagull liver. I snatch it out of the cat's paw and it's in my mouth before my brain can catch up. Oh no. It's in my throat. It's lodged in, it's lodged in my throat. I can't swallow it. How do I... Crikey, that was close. I catch the organ, clench fist, and simultaneously give Fluffy the thumbs up. Exquisite! My compliments to the cat. Quite so. Next time, make sure you have an empty stomach. Unlike this chap, eh? Who holds the gold tooth and laughs. I try to force a laugh, but I'm suddenly overwhelmed with nausea. I've had a truly lovely time here, Major, but I'm afraid I must go. So soon? Sadly so, work calls. Well, I suppose I can be helped. But let's do this again soon, eh? Yes, of course, soon. I can hardly wait. As As I run home, feeling the slimy, sticky mess clinging to my hand, I curse myself for not obeying my antiseptic gel. Next time, I will be prepared. Bloody hell. Just when things can't get worse. I saw there was an achievement for not sleeping, so why not? Do you continue? You could have negative consequences. Yeah, why not? I don't care for your so-called negative consequences. Did the miracle to clean up the lab's inventory? I should probably be there too. I might find something useful. Snoots has brought me something intriguing. I better check it out. There's something about those important, fragrant pink letters Zane mentioned. I've got to get my hands on one. Why not? Oh, Zeus, one more time. I know it by heart, but I'm nervous. I've been watching long enough to be sure that the routine is just like clockwork. No deviations. Well, apart from one. And I've made that work for me. So the boat arrives at 1300 hours. Zane, always alone, talks to the older man, Bob, who hands over the post. While the younger of the two, Joe, loads up the dolly with boxes of supplies. Zane puts the envelopes, never more than 3, into the breast pocket of his jacket. That solves the mystery of why he always overdresses whenever the boat comes in. He then wheels the dolly to the mess tents and unloads the food supplies, then to the lab and unloads medical supplies, then to the storage hut where he unloads the remaining packages and leaves the dolly. Next he goes to Professor Purrfect's tent. The professor is in, he hands over 2 of the envelopes, keeping the 3rd, this puzzler, in his jacket pocket. If, however, the professor isn't in his tent, Zane makes his way back to his own chair on the dock, drapes his jacket over the back of it, and spends the afternoon on his puzzles before going back again in the evening to deliver the professor's mail. He never lets the envelopes out of his jacket pocket, or the jacket out of his sight, so my only opportunity would be to pickpocket the security guard when he takes his jacket off. But that relies on Professor Purrfect not being in his tent. Luckily, I'm insured, with the help of my feline friends, the professor will be held up during his out-of-grounds inspection. I don't like where this is going. That guy acts like he's a serial killer. I wouldn't mess with him personally. Usually Purrfect just meanders around the inner perimeter of the base camp area and checks that all is well. Most days everything is, but today, Kibbles and Trixie have staged a little rumpus that will engage him for just enough time to miss Zane's delivery. He is, of course, sat in his usual place, jacket drawn over his chair. Hi there, Zane! 128. I suppose we're on first name base. I have a little something for you. Zane frowns, but does not look at me. His eyes are instead where they always are, on his crossword. I've made you a puzzle! He eyes me skeptically. A crossword, to be exact. It's pretty tricky if I do say so myself. I create the puzzle using all the cat's general knowledge. Major and McMurphy thought of some particularly treacherous teasers, while Kibbles and Trixie offered some great obscure pop culture questions. Snooty Booty was mostly just trying to get cat treats out of my pocket. I hand the paper over to Zane, who's still frowning. This stick's having a whale of a time? Is this a joke? Oh, it gets harder. Here's the crossword. Why did you make this for me? Well, you know how bored I get, and I like you, Zane. Zane brings in the first smile I've seen on his face, although small and slightly uncomfortable looking. I don't have anything for you. Yes, he's warming to me. This plan is going off springily. Epiphany. Oh, don't worry about that. All I want is for you to complete it. I make my hands into a heart shape while Zane is distracted. I feel stupid, but Murphy insisted that would be my signal for him to strike, and sure enough, along he slinks, cool as anything. He winds his feline body around Zane's legs unnoticed. Zane's tongue is now sticky now, and his shoulders are hunched in concentration. You stuck already? I dart a look at McMurphy to get ready to make his move. He throws me a disconcerting wink. It's not that hard, just this one about the archetypical counterpart to Yandere. Ah, yes, that's quite niche. Thanks for that one, Gibbons. While I engage Zane, I can see that McMurphy has already reached up as though stretching against the chair and nudged his nose into the inside breast pocket of the jacket. Oi, shoo, guard! I see Murphy scamper off and my heart sinks. Anyway, I'll check back later. I'll see how you're getting on with it. Zane grunts in response. I walk back dejectedly to where McMurphy and I had agreed to meet after our mission was over, and suddenly my spirits lift at the sight of the little pink corner peeking out from under the designated rock. McMurphy, you're a star! There's no end to my talents. I snatch up the envelope, say goodbye to McMurphy, and head to the privacy of my tent. I examine my trophy while the kettle boils. I'm touched by the pretty pink envelope and delicate fragrance, and feel suddenly embarrassed. Am I prying into the professor's love life? What has gotten into me? Getting notions of secret goings on and subterfuge? I'm about to put the letter back when I'm overwhelmed by curiosity. I wonder who the professor's secret love could be. What are they like? Woman, man, other? Before I can contain myself, I have steamed open the flap and am peeking inside. It's not at all what I expect, and my previous suspicions come flooding back. The paper is in stark contrast to the pretty pink wrapping. It is a typed message on white paper. Percival, I've been personally informed of your latest subject. I would rather hear about such things from you personally. It would not be wise to take my silence for authorization. Please keep this in mind for future transactions. I will let this indiscretion slide, but if it ever repeated, I will have no choice but to deal with you the way I dealt with 124. 124? 7? The person that came before Andrew. As for the project, case study number 6 is aesthetic. Whatever. Please act accordingly. P103 has been unsuccessful. Avoid any further investigation. Lab 09 has received the newest batch, protocol to begin on the 8th. Finally, I trust your new assistant has arrived and has proven to be much more helpful than the previous one. You seem to have had a run-in of bad luck in that particular area. As you know, I do not abide bad luck and will expect a reversal of fortune post-haste. Faithfully yours, 7. 7? 709? So I went back to my tent and I was starting to feel a little faint. My head was spinning and I started to feel my legs give up under me. Before I knew what was going on, I was out cold. I came in a few hours later in my tent. The professor was standing over me with an uncharacteristically worried expression on his face. Ah, welcome back to the world of living, Noble. What happened? My head's killing me, Professor. I'm not surprised. You're working yourself too hard. We found you collapsed in the middle of the base camp. Gave us all quite scared. I can't say I don't appreciate your desire to work hard, but health comes first. Well, I'm having you sent back to the mainland to get some proper supervised rest. What about our research? Ever the hard worker, eh? Not to worry. I'll be able to cope perfectly fine in your absence, and I dare say it won't be long until you're back on your feet again. Although, I hope I shouldn't need to point out that this kind of behaviour is best stay on the mainland, eh? You're lucky you could somewhere safe. Imagine you'd be out doing the fuel time. Anyway, I packed a few of your things for you. The boat's waiting on the dock. The sooner you're home and rested, the sooner you can go back to work. And with that, Professor Purrfect excuses himself. And there's bloody consequences to not doing it. Made my way falling into the jetty. I had not only let myself down, but all the cats too. The cats. I promised myself that I would take better care of myself upon my return to the island and redouble my efforts to find the cure. I had to admit that I was looking forward to meeting up with my family and some of my old friends. Friends like Strange? In such a short time, I can't seem to remember much about my life before. During the ferryman's son helps me onto the boat. Morning? What are we off to? He looks at me suspiciously. I knew you were a bit sick, but I didn't think it was that bad. We're going back to the mainland, remember? Of course I do. I don't, for some reason, in this moment, I can't remember. Alright, say I never caught your name. Mind reminding me? This is humiliating. How can I not remember my own name? Joe smiles. Don't worry, mate. You just sit there for a minute. Dad? Bob joins on the deck. Got a problem here, son? I reckon so. Can't even remember their own name. What? Yes, I can. It's... Before I can protest, the older man pulled what looked like a gun from his coat and is aiming it at me. What's... It's not personal, Anna. We just have to take precautions. Can't have any problems reaching the mainland, can we? Ooh. Sleepers for the weak. Dead. You're stressing me out. Oh God. Relationship status is complicated with Fluffy, but maybe I should have stayed up and done the dates first. Oh, never mind. I'm usually terrible at thinking of a name. Meow. 8 hours, one journal, and a wildcat chase later. Oh, is it awake? Human, we need to talk to you. This goes fluffy bum, blah blah, clarification, blah blah, evasive answers, blah blah, antidotes, and basically you need my help. Did I miss anything? No, not really. Wow, you really did read the journal from front to back, didn't you? Front to back. Yes, are you going to help us or not? Fine, I'll help, whatever. See you after my day job. This game, honestly. I return to the camp, feeling a bit less grumpy. I'm just about to enter the lab and begin to legitimate work when the catalogue beeps at me. That catalogue! Anyway, a message without any contact information. Here we go. Snitches get stitches. Bloody hell. That's what... So that's why they were killed. I don't know, it means something about messages in the journal. I was sleeping last night, I don't recall what it was, so I'm ignore the mysteries messenger for now, or I'll be late for work. This day is uneventful, just working in the lab with the professor. I cannot wait to start unpacking this mystery. I suppose the cats are my starting point. point. They must know more than they're letting on. I intend to get to the heart of each of them to see what secrets they may hold. Secret dance, apparently. Oh, I can't date Fluffy Butt anymore. That's a shame. You're a Snooty Booty then. I'm splayed out like a starfish on the beach in my bathing clothes. It's a sweltering hot day, and I find it hard to concentrate on my work. So here I am. I let the cool sea wash over my feet and legs as I lay back on the sand. I hear a long loud sigh coming from somewhere nearby, and I sit up to see where it came from. Snooty Booty, in repose, under the shade of a palm tree, is looking about her with a concerned expression, one that I've never really seen a cat make before. I go over to her to see if I can help with something. Are you okay, Snooty Booty? She lets out a rather long, wistful sigh. To be quite frank with you, human, no, I am not today. Okay. I cannot expose this delicate skin of mine to the sun, but there is something I need to retrieve from further down the beach. It is quite a predicament. Oh, right, want me to fetch it for you? Oh, would you be so kind, human? I would be very grateful. Sure, it's no problem. We can't have you putting that delicate skin of yours at risk, can we? Snooty Booty looks grave. Indeed not. Skincare must come above all else, don't you know? One must never expose one's skin to the elements, human. It really is quite aging. One must also never get stressed if one wishes to retain one's youthful aura, which is rather difficult on this frightful island. Oh, I know, believe me. How do you know? Are you stressed? Oh no, that would upset me terribly. Really? That's sweet of you. Of course, you really are a precious thing. I do so hope you are finding your time here pleasant. Don't worry about me, Snooty Booty, I'm fine. Now, what was it you'd like me to get for you? Well, before I tell you, I must ask that you don't inform the others of the whereabouts of this particular item. It is very dear to me, you see, and one of the few luxuries I have all to myself. Of course, that's no problem. I can be discreet when I need to be. I do hope so, human. You see, along the beach just south of here, there is a tree which bears the ripest of coconuts all year round. It is quite splendid. The coconuts are always so sweet and creamy. Snooty Booty looks as if she's lost in a wonderful dream. Sounds lovely. It is. I like to drink coconut water as often as I can, as it is so good for the skin waistline. But the less civilized denizens of the island keep knocking the coconuts down before they're fully matured. Fortunately, no one else has seemed to have discovered this particular tree yet. Well, luckily, Snooty Booty, I'll try and find coconuts for you. I'll be back soon. You have my thanks, human. Been walking for a lot longer than Snooty Booty led me to believe. I'm not sure if this is even the right tree. They all look the same to me, although this one does seem to have more coconuts than the others. I decided to take a chance and bundle up as many as I can carry in my arms and haul them back to her ladyship. By the time I get back to Snooty Booty, I'm faint from exertion, not to mention walking so far in the sun. I fall to my knees, panting in front of her. Here you go, Boots. She eyes the pile with a distinct air of disapproval. I only needed one coconut, human. Oh, these are far too many. Well, I do apologize, madam. Tell me you didn't plunder the tree. No, there are plenty on the ground already, so... Oh, well, that's a small mercy. At least you didn't hack them down. Hack them down? With what? Well, your hands are rather large and leathery. Snooty booty! I do not use my hands for deforestation. I didn't think that could even be a word, a bloody sentence. There you go. Well, I'm sure you did your very best, although I really don't know what I'm going to do with so many coconuts. You're welcome, I'm sure. I down the pile of coconuts and it strikes me properly for the first time how strange it is that there are no creatures on the island to plunder them. What do you think it is, Snoots, that keeps wildlife away from the island? Do you mean the magnetic barrier? Magnetic barrier? Oh, do keep up, human! I thought you were meant to be a scientist! I realise you must be referring to the force field that surrounds the island. Now, be a dear and crack one open for me. With my enormous hands? Well, you could try, I suppose. I push down the irritation that is slowly rising in me and smile politely. On second thoughts, I'll be right back with a screwdriver. Oh, what? Super looks horrified. It's a sharp metal tool that bores into things. What on earth do you need one of those for? So that I can make a hole and get the water out of the coconut? How else do you propose I do it? Well, look around you, dear. Look at nature's bounties. What about that? Snooty gestures with a limp paw at a shard of rock nearby. Snoots, how do you usually get the water out of the coconut when there isn't a human around? Well, the exuberant Kibbles simply loves to break things. Had you not noticed? It's one of the few reasons I tolerate him, don't you know? Far better than one of your screw dribblers, don't you think? I reach over and pick up the rock. It does look like it could actually do the job. Okay, let's give it a try. Here goes. I'm holding the coconut in a palm leaf. I gently tap the shell a few times with a stone before finally whacking it. It cracks open surprisingly easy, and the water drains into the leaf. There now! See how nature provides, human? Yep, again, you're welcome. Quite. Snooty Booty stretches her neck and then upper body towards the leaf. She sticks her tongue out as far as it can go before raising her big eyes to me. I can't quite seem to... I suddenly realise what she's getting at. I let her struggle for a moment or two before I begin to feel a little bit like a child pulling the wings off a fly. She can't help the way she is. You seem to be struggling, little boots. Well, you've placed my libation slightly out of my reach. Oh, I'm sorry, would you like me to help? Be a little closer, perhaps? Well, of course I would, human. Are you being deliberately obtuse? I would very much like to help you, Snoots, but you make it rather difficult. How? I don't understand. I've been perfectly clear in my instruction. You see, I am under a spell. It's a very powerful one which prevents me from following any instruction unless accompanied by some magic words. Oh? Would you care to enlighten me? Well, it goes something like this. Please, human, would you mind passing me my libation? Thank you very much. There's a pause during which I'm really not sure what Snooty Booty's thinking. Suddenly the Sphinx erupts into pearls of laughter. I seem to have forgotten my manners! Please, do be so kind, human. I would be most obliged. Oh, go on then. I nudge the leaf closer to her and she delicately laps at it. I truly am indebted. Many thanks. That looks delicious. Suji agrees without taking a break. You know, searching for those coconuts was thirsty work. I'm sure it was. She's lapping up all the water. Oh, my throat's a bit scratchy, especially in this heat. Snooty Booty finally comes up for air. Quite! That's the beauty of the coconut, you see. So hydrating and most palatable too. You really ought to try it sometime. I looked down and now try palm leaf. Yes, that's a good idea, Boots. And the very best thing after drinking coconut water is to curl up and have a nap, you know? Beauty sleep is most important. Oh, is that so? Indeed, human. I suppose you have other things to do now? Well... Sabrina yawns and closes her eyes. I suppose I do. Sweet dreams, princess. She snores softly in reply. Well, that didn't improve my disposition towards her. I didn't think it would anyway. And somehow that got us up to 40% on the antidote. This has brought me something intriguing then, eh? Alicia, are you still sleeping? You really ought to be awake by now. Snooty Booty, are you okay? What are you doing in my tent? All this lazing around is very bad for your complexion, to say nothing about the dragging effects on the delicate tissue around your eyes. So wait a minute. Apparently sleep would be good for the skin, but staying asleep for too long is bad for the skin. Make up your mind. Is there something I can help you with? Possibly. I have something I want you to look at. Right now? What time is it? Time you are active. Come along. Well, at least let me get ready. Very well. Snooty Booty sits down and starts grooming herself. After a moment, she looks up again. Why aren't you ready yet? Can you leave the tent so that I can get dressed? Oh, for goodness sake. Snooty Booty rolls her eyes and walks out. I get dressed resignedly and follow her. Yeah, probably. I mean, when you turn the cat, it seems to badly affect your memory. And on top of that, when you're a cat, you don't wear clothes, so you probably just don't give a fish about what sort of clothes you wear. Yeah, I said fish. Oh, I didn't say fish, I said fuck. Oh no, it's happening to me too. What do you think this is? What do you think it is? I'm intrigued. We're on the beach, staring at partially buried bottles sealed inside a plastic bag. It looks as though it was only recently washed up. Well, there's only one way to find out. I pull the bottle out of the sand. It has some kind of document or note in the bag, along with the bottle. What is that thing? Read it to me. It's a good thing I'm just as curious as Snooty, or I would be feeling a lot more irritable by now. I carefully unseal the bag and unfold the paper. I read the note out loud. Initial tests on the most recent formula are encouraging. Subjects 6 through 18 appear visibly younger. Moderate to severe side effects noted, including increased hair growth and marked mood alteration. Subjects 1 through 5 had major complications. Some new small tumours, skin irritation, partial blindness and memory loss. We need you to look into this, check for contaminants and continue to iterate on the formula. Appeared visibly younger? Sounds bloody horrifying, the first bit, with bloody growing tumours, itchy skin, partial blindness and shit. Snooty Booty, is that the most important thing you've gathered from the report? You're quite right, Alicia. We ought not to trust it. That note could have been written by anyone. We shall conduct our own experiment. Apply the cream to my skin. Have you lost your mind, Snooty Booty? Did you not hear what I read out? Tumours, blindness, memory loss. Statistics bore me. You should know that by now. Let's live a little. I'm willing to take the risk in the name of science. No, we're not taking any risks, Snooty Booty. You wait here while I go and get my kit bag from the lab. Let's see if we can't work out what this stuff is made of. I was hoping the lab would be free, but the Professor is in there making some notes. Ah, hello Alicia. I thought you were taking a day off from the lab today. Oh, yes I am, Professor. I just, wanted to check something. I can't take the test equipment away without the Professor getting suspicious. I'll have to come up with some kind of excuse. Try and take it without him noticing, or... Excuse! Well, I wanted to go ahead and get some of the field, get ahead on some field work. There are some samples I found that I think could be useful. I pick up the field kit. Purrfect looks up from his work. Oh? What sort of samples? I have to make this believable, but also invite no other questions. The samples are fecal. Fecal? Yes, a large poo, sir. It has rather interesting properties. Jolly good, off you go then. Nailed it. I take the bag and leave. Yeah, I personally wouldn't ask any more about shit, but really. As I approach the beach, it becomes clear. Snooty Booty has managed to break into the ointment. She appears to have spilled some and is now busy rolling around in it. Oh, I better close that window so my latency stays up. There we go. That should keep the latency up. Right, she's now rolling in the potentially dangerous ointment. Snooty Booty, what were you thinking? This could be dangerous. The only danger here is this ghastly sand sticking to my delicate skin. Do help me get rid of it, Alicia. I try to wipe the sand off, but it's stuck like glue. Underneath the layer of sand, I can see her skin is very pink. There's no time to lose. I pick her up and run to the ocean, trying to use the seawater to clean off as much of the ointment as I can. But be down! What on earth? I've never been so humiliated in all my life. She twists out my grasp and scampers off in a huff. I think I've got it all off, so I leave her to... Now, back to the samples. There's not much I can do here on the beach, so I'll just have to wait until Professor Purrfect has finished in the lab. Well, that was quick. As luck would have it, the Professor needed to retire to his tent earlier than usual. He has to read some research papers that arrived from the mainland this morning. So now, I can continue looking into this ointment. I begin by testing the substances for several common components found in most cosmetics, but it's negative for all of them. Very strange. I went and tested other organic compounds. I get a match. About 30% of the ointment is cat saliva? Cat saliva? Is that used in products? If they are using saliva from the cats of the island, they could be infecting all their test subjects with catification. But where have these other side effects come from? I run the ointment again, this time looking for known pharmaceuticals. Before I can get the test results back, Snooty Booty comes trotting in. I just thought you should know that the security guard is coming this way. You should make yourself scarce before he arrives. Not that I care what happens to you after you threw me into the ocean. I have no time to finish the experiment now, but I will work on it later in the privacy of my tent. I take my things and run before Zane arrives. I've probably not to new research, have I? I think I'll focus on the dating first. See what comes of that. Snooty Booty! Snooty Booty? Snoots? I've been searching for the Sphinx for what feels like ages. For a cat that never seems to move, she's surprisingly difficult to find. I am answered eventually by an unusual murmur coming from the shade of a nearby tree. Of course, she's sleeping. Snooty Booty! I poke at her gently to try and rouse her. I have something for you, a gift as it happens. Oh, human, it's you. Whatever are you doing up and about at this time? It's midday, Boots. She stares at me uncomprehensively. I have an hour for lunch and I came to spend it with you, but if it's not a convenient time, I can always find something else to do. Wait, you mentioned a gift? Well, yes, I suppose. I had the idea when we were drinking, well, when you were drinking from the coconut I fetched for you the other day. I took some of the remaining coconuts over to the lab and cooked up some coconut oil. Snooty opens her mouth wide. I sit awkwardly staring at her, unsure what exactly she's doing. Well, I'm ready to break my fast, human. It's hard sometimes to know whether to laugh or spit with this spoilt feline. No, feline. Feline? Feline. Anyway. No, Boots, this isn't for eating. You mentioned how good drinking coconut water is for you, so I thought you might like some coconut oil to rub into your skin, keep you moisturized and youthful. Aren't you terribly clever? Aren't you terribly clever? I can't help but blush. Snooty Booty rarely compliments anyone, so I feel honoured. You may begin. Snooty Booty lolls on her back, exposing her plump pink tummy to me. Oh, you want me to rub it in for you? Snooty Booty simply smiles in response. Well, a please wouldn't go amiss. Yes, well, I didn't want to make a fuss, but I would prefer it if you asked first. I sigh. There's not much point in arguing with Princess Snooty Booty. I don't think she actually means to be rude. Sometimes she just doesn't seem to understand how to talk to people as equals. I don't have the energy to deal with it today, but I make a note that at some point she and I are going to have a little chat about etiquette. Please, may I rub this coconut oil into your skin? Yes, you may! I pour some of the pungent liquid into my palm and my hand and rub it together with the other. I have no idea what I'm doing, as I've never massaged anyone before, but I work along the lines of putting sun cream on a friend. As I touch the warm, loose skin on Snooty's primordial pouch, I'm struck by how delicate she really is, and I try to be as gentle as possible. Is that okay? You're very skillful with your hands, human. Oh, okay. I do so wish I had those thumb things. They seem so useful. They're quite handy, to be honest, but paws are cool too. Snooty Booty lazily inspects one of her paws. Do my paws next, will you? Snooty's skin is reacting well to the treatment and has become shiny and pliant. I see the good it's doing. I move on to massage her paws, but I'm quite taken aback by the length of her claws. Oh my, Boots, your claws are really quite long. Don't you use a scratching post or anything? What? You know, something abrasive to file them on. Whatever for? Well, it's part of being a cat, really. Stops them from catching on things. Snooty Booty is peering at me with one judgmental eye open. Caught on? What exactly? Oh, I don't know, Snoots, don't worry about it. I'm sure it's fine. No, oh no, do go on. I'm intrigued. You seem to be implying that there is a degree of neglect in my grooming. No, I most certainly am not. You are by far the most highly highly groomed cat I've ever seen. In fact, You are the perfect example of a sphinx. I'm a... what? Sphinx? You're trying to get me to say perfect again. It's hard to keep my face straight. Absolutely perfect, Snoots. And you're an expert? Well, I wouldn't call myself that, but I have been reading up on Sphinx cats, and you have all the characteristics of a pedigree. It's very sweet of you to say so. Remind me, what would those be? I hesitate for a moment, trying to remember what pause for thought. Pause for thought. Listed as top features to look for in a Sphinx. There was a lot of info, and I wanted to give it to her in the best bits. Flatter her and said, well, let's see. I have been Snooty Booty will not appreciate some of the common qualities of a Sphinx, including wrinkles and pot bellies, so I decided to cherry pick and dress it up a bit. Sphinx cats are well known for their beautiful big eyes and high prominent cheekbones. Snooty Booty extends her neck and widens her eyes. She also appears to suck in her cheeks, which gives her a look of someone who's not wearing their dentures. It's very disconcerting. And they have a very shapely physique. This isn't strictly true. Sphinxes tend to be quite muscular, but something tells me Snooty Booty wouldn't approve of that description. She has now extended her entire body into what looks like a yoga stretch. I see. Go on. The skin is soft, buttery. This is sort of true because they don't have fur to soak up excess oils. Sphinx cats can become quite greasy. It is recommended that they be patted down with a cloth as part of their regular grooming. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm listening. And, they're very regal. Regal? I'm not sure where that word came from, but Snooty Booty seems to enjoy it. Well, well, human. It seems you have a vast and accurate knowledge of my kind. I'm rather impressed with you. I blush. It's not often she gives out compliments, but when she does, it makes you feel $1 million. Thank you, Snoots. Which prompts me to take what you were saying about my claws far more seriously. Do you think you ought to tend to them? In what way? The length. I believe you were suggesting they ought to be trimmed. I wasn't saying that, but I don't think it's such a bad idea. Perhaps I can help you with that. A manicure? What a marvellous idea! Let's say tomorrow, same time? Well, if I can get away? I feel like she's playing me. You really are most kind. Thank you, human. And with those few words, my heart is a puddle at her feet. I don't know why, she's just coming off as a bitch. Or with my voice, the bloody, every nap I feel revitalized. Your energy has been restored. Magic! Snooty Booty. Hey, Snoots. Fancy seeing you here. Really? But this is my spot, human. I'm often to be found here. I let it go because I'm so excited about what I brought. Big hand. I hold my fist in front of Snooty Booty. Oh, a game. How merry. She stretches out her paw in the direction of the left hand. Ta-da! I open it to reveal a piece of coarse cestone that I cut up in the lab. Oh, what a lovely rock you have there. It's coarse stone. I thought it would work well as a fine nail file. What a clever thing you are. That's not even the best bit. Look. I open the other fist to reveal my fantastic find. Oh my. Is that thing? It's nail polish. I found it in the lab. I have no idea who it could belong to, and honestly, I don't like to think too much about it. I figured I could borrow it for one short hour without anybody missing it. Who would be using bloody nail polish out Out of all the different characters, who do you think's using nail polish? Zane? Maybe secretly Zane wears them? I wouldn't put it past him, he's a bit of a creepy guy. And it looks just like your colour. Let's get in the bottom. It's called Desire. I raise my eyebrows at the Sphinx. Oh, nail polish, you say? Show me, human. He suddenly seems more interested. I thought I could try giving you a salon-style manicure. Befitting a lady. Most sweet of you. Now, shall we sort the snacks and drinks first? Oh, well, I came straight from work, so I don't really... Oh, never mind. It won't take you more than a moment to fetch a coconut, and then we shall begin. I can't believe I'm actually doing her bidding. You have to hand it to her. That air of entitlement certainly gets her what she wants. I'm back quickly and out of breath. Within minutes, we settle into our session. Tell me if this feels at all uncomfortable, Snoots. I've never done this before, so guidance would be most helpful. It's surprisingly satisfying. I can see why other cats might engage in this process of scratching at trees and rocks. I always thought they were hunting for termites like little scavengers. Ha ha ha. Next, foot. I have finished our hind legs and I am on the final front paw. Your stone works really well. Did I tell you how I cut it in the lab? I don't believe you did. So how does this nail polish work? Is it like paint? I ignore her rudeness. Exactly. Paint it on and wait for it to dry. I've never painted someone's nails before, so this new experience for both of us. I open the bottle and make the first stroke. Try to keep it as still as possible. I think you'll find I am statuesque in my stillness. Your hand is less so. I know, sorry, your nails are just so tiny. I'm trying to colour within the lines. What lines? Never mind, it's a human thing, I guess. Well, yes, because our nails are obviously, you know, at the tips of our fingers. Cats, on the other hand, have claws. I'm not sure I care for the smell of this nail polish. Really? I quite like it. Reminds me of pear drops. Of what? Oh, sorry, another human thing. Wow, look though, your paws look fantastic. The long, sleek talons are glinting shiny red in the sunlight. This looks more demonic to me than pretty. Oh my! I am spectacular! She extends her claws momentarily and presses them into my arm. Not enough to puncture the skin, but if I tried to move, it would hurt. For the first time, I appreciate what lethal weapons they could be. I must keep that in mind. So, come on then. I take out my catalogue. Come on, what? Pose the camera. Oh, goodness! I hadn't realised this was going to be a photographic session also. How exciting! Yes, well, I'm going to have to remove that varnish before I go, so I thought it would be nice for you to have a photo. Remove it? The Sphinx cat looks appalled. Whatever for? Oh, Snooze, I'm sorry, didn't I say? I can't leave it on you permanently, it would impede the natural retraction of your claws. Then I shall leave them extended. You can't do that. Her expression darkens. I beg your pardon? I thought for a moment I heard you tell me what I can't do. Surely I was mistaken. Compromise. No, since you heard me perfectly well, I must insist that you allow me to remove it. Insist? Her forehead wrinkles with a raised eyebrow. I need to tread carefully here. Ask your permission. Please may I remove the varnish now? But it simply does not make sense. Why do it in the first place? I know how much you enjoy things like this, pampering. I thought it would be a fun thing for us to share. You had fun, didn't you? Well, yes, but I certainly wouldn't have had I known you were simply doing it to taunt me. I wasn't doing it to taunt you, Boots. She seems generally upset. I'm sorry. There's an awkward little standoff, her eyeing the rubbing alcohol, me eyeing her claws. I racked my brain to think of a way to compromise with her, perhaps if I tried appealing to her sense of style. I wonder if you'd like to try something. I don't know why I didn't do it in the first place, actually. I'm so forgetful sometimes. You're wittering. Well, just before I came to the island, there was a craze sweeping the fashion world. I can tell I've got her attention. I read all about it in, Bon Vivant magazine. Go on. It's a French thing, apparently. Snooty Booty cocks her head to the side. It's called, the Pinky Flick. Fleshy Rose. She's going for it. I feel encouraged. I'm thinking of her feet. Or somebody's doing it. Doing what? Having their pinky nail painted while their other nails are left natural. Just one? She looks intrigued. Yes, it really does look so striking and a la mode. Show me. Bullseye. I go to take Snooty's paw in mine, but she snatches it away. No. Show me. I pause and don't know what she means, then the penny drops. She wants me to paint my own pinky with desire. Oh, gladly. I suppose I should have expected Snooty Booty to attempt to groom me at some point. Here goes. I swipe some of the bright red polish on my left pinky. What do you think? Looks a la mode, right? I hold my pinky finger to the corner of my mouth coyly. Well, I suppose it does look rather fetching. I'll make a deal with you, human. I will wear my nails la mode if you promise to keep yours painted for the rest of your stay here. It's a deal. I doubt that such a tiny amount of varnish will cause her too much harm. It will come off quite naturally soon anyway. Mine, on the other hand, is going to be more permanent. I can't wait to explain this to Professor Pauper. Why are you painting the claws of the cats? You weirdo. I will not have weird cat people like you hanging around here anymore. 44.4%. Apparently, doing the nails helps reveal the antidote. Yeah, dear, would you? Snooty Booty is in the habit now of holding out a limp manicured paw for me to massage. I resignedly oblige. Oh, do you know, that reminds me, I have something for you. Something for me? Oh, look at you with your mouth agape. Do close it, you'll embarrass us both. I'm sorry, I just didn't expect you'd ever think of me when I'm not with you. Ha! You do make me laugh, human. Oh my, are you serious? Well, I'll have you know, I think of you a great deal. You are my most faithful subject, don't you know? Now, if you want your gift, carry me further down the beach and I'll show you where I hid it. I cradle the hairless cat like a baby. I stroll barefoot along the beach. Snooty Booty directs me with the wave of her paw every now and then. After a while, she loudly commands that I stop and put her down. Here! Snooty says with her regular level of enthusiasm, pointing a perfectly filed claw at a mound of sand. I buried it. I suppose you want me to dig it up then, eh, Boots? Ha! You always know what to say to make me laugh, human. It's quite a talent, I tell you. With a sigh, I start digging. Thankfully, she didn't bury it very deep, and after a few seconds, I find the small object wrapped in a silk star. We wouldn't want sand getting into it would we, dear? Snooty Booty says with a small smile. I carefully open the flimsy silk bundle and turn the contents over in my hand. It's a little black tub with a plain label stuck to it that reads Skin Cream P103. Wasn't that one of the things on the letters? P103? Do you love it? What is it? Oh dear, can you not read? Yes, it says skin cream, but I don't exactly know what that entails. Oh, you see, one massages skin cream into one's skin. Yes, I understand that, Boots, but whose is this? When did you find it? Well, it's yours now, human. I roll my eyes and further inspect the tub. It's very small and plain, with no cosmetic logo or name to be found. I pop in the plastic lid, and sure enough, it's filled to the brim with goop. I scoop some out with my index finger and smell it. It smells disgusting, like bin juice or something. Oh, bin juice, that's vile. Boots! I can't put this on my skin. I'll attract all sorts of bugs and wildlife. Oh, come now. We must suffer for our beauty, mustn't we? What's in this stuff? Booty, where did you get it from? All I ask is that you try some on your skin and tell me you don't see instant results. Oh, Snooty, have you been using this stuff? Of course. Without knowing where it comes from? But I know exactly where it has come from. Well then, will you please let me in on the secret? Oh, calm down, human. You will give yourself more wrinkles. Let us take a moment to ponder how my generosity is giving you a thoughtful gift. Has developed into you interrogating me in such a brutish manner. I take a deep breath. Snooty Booty, I do apologise, and thank you sincerely. Of course, I am touched by your generosity and consideration. However, I am also quite concerned for your welfare. Did you take this thing from the lab? Oh, no, not at all. Thank goodness. I took it from the stockpile behind the lab, where the fire pits are. Yeah, that's a smart idea. You mean the incinerators? Snooty, did you take this from the toxic waste bins? I have no idea what they're called, but they routinely give forth the most incredible produce. Waste is indeed a fitting word. I think you'll find toxic is the objective word here in the title sense. The contents of those bins are meant to be burned. But why are they burning skin cream? I further scrutinized the tub and concluded that it really is some kind of beauty product. This makes no sense. Actually, Princess, this is a fantastic present, and I'm going to take it right now for further examination. Thank you so much for this. Well, finally, a little gratitude. I am very grateful. Well, you can report back to me with how splendid you look after a few applications. Oh, I will. One thing though, Snooty, just to be clear, have you been using this? I have. Please, don't throw me in the water again. And no problems? As you can see, human, my skin is as smooth and clear as porcelain. Yes, so why incinerate it? Speak up, human, you're mumbling. Nothing, Snooty, I just need your word that you will not use any more products that you find in the lab again, okay? Oh, I see your game, human. You want to be the fairest of them all, eh? No, that's not it. Very well, human, I shall go au naturel for a while, and you will see how, without even a touch of skin cream, I am still as radiant as a star. Oh, okay, Snooty, challenge accepted? Indeed. You are Nox. Let's finish the romance. The delicacy of a moment is sometimes only matched by the beauty of the moonlight's reflection on the sea. Snooty Booty turns her big shining silver eyes up to meet mine. Human, I have lived a long life, and only the first of 9, don't you know? It has been much the same, as far back as my fragile memory reaches. Seeing the moon reflected on the sea would once mean only that I had stayed awake too long, and that I shall see that same shade of grey reflected in the circles under my eyes the next day. However, seeing how you conduct yourself, human, with the grace of a drunken fruit fly, and yet the confidence of a red-bottomed mandrill, has left me quite inspired. You do not care one bit about how you look. I suddenly tried to comb my hair with my fingernails to return her attention back to this moon. I have found, since meeting you, that when one cares less about one's appearance, one finds the capacity to care more about other things. Is that so, Boots? Quite so, human, indeed. I have found it rather freeing to bathe in salt water, something which, not long ago, would have caused me to turn grey with anxiety. In the same vein, I feel I am owed some thanks for teaching you a thing or two about proper skincare. Snooty, your demand that I use a night cream caused me to break out in hives. But once it subsided, you were left with a very healthy glow. That's not the point. Alicia? Yes, Snooty, really? There is a poem I half remember. The words have become irrelevant, but the sentiment is so enduring that it is almost enough to cause me to weep at the thought of it. Music is also like that, don't you find? And smell, all the senses in fact, are the palette that colours our experiences and leaves an indelible mark on the soul. That's beautiful. Human, I believe you and I are both aesthetes. We share an artist's appreciation of the sous-descent. And again, what? Really? Do try and keep up. I can't tell I'm somewhat spoiling a mood here, so I keep my mouth shut and try to look engaged. I have suffered on this godforsaken island from the lack of many things, but nothing has quite matched the pain of feeling alone. Not having a companion to share the more delicate sensibilities that life has to offer. An alluring scent, a vibrant hue, an Elperian delight, all the subtle joys that are wasted on our more uncivilized cohabitants. It has been like air to my suffocation, sharing time with you, human. My suits, thank you. I enjoyed the time together. And so, she plows on as though I am interrupting. I feel that together, you and I might create something rather wonderful. Oh, a masterpiece! Oh right, a masterpiece out of what? Out of us, human, a union, a joining together of souls. I don't know, a marriage of the hearts and minds. Are you saying what I think you're saying, Snooty? I am saying that I am fond of you, enough to give me cause to believe that we may be able to commit to each other in time-honored tradition of love, human. Oh wow. I love you too. I'm amazed. What you're saying is more than I could have hoped for. So it is agreed, human. You shall dote on me as my eagle from now on? Absolutely. I'm 100% about the doting. Snooty will certainly keep that part of the agreement. I'm a little more suspicious about the equal part somehow, but as we sit together admiring the huge orange moon, I feel quietly confident that she will learn with time and a patient teacher. This should go Snooty Booty. Rest. I'm not going to get myself killed again. Tricks and Gibbles have brought me to the ridge where the pools of coloured water collect. We call them the rainbow pools. It's a beautiful day and there's a vivid rainbow across the sky. Kibbles is over the other side and he's shouting, "Whoa, look at this! Come over here!" He sounds further away than he is. My hearing isn't quite right, but I don't mind. What is it? You need to see this. Suddenly I'm beside him. He's looking over the edge of the cliffs, and when I look down, the sea is further away than I expect. It's a long way down. Such a long way down. Do you see? And I feel a push from behind, and as I begin to fall, I hear Trixie laugh. Curiosity did what? And I'm not falling at all. I'm floating light as a feather. Fly, little bird. Fly away home. This is the best feeling ever. I'm going higher now, up towards the rainbow. I am going to touch it. Why did it get scorched by the sun? I feel myself being shaken. Humi, you really ought to go in now. It's too hot out here to sleep. I'm on the patch of scrub grass beside my tent. I was just having a moment of shut-eye in the sun, but I must have fallen asleep. Oh, thank you, Trixie. I smiled at the calico cat as I surreptitiously scratched at the prickly heat in my legs. What a weird dream. Especially the Icarus metaphor there. Yes, let's analyse this skin cream a bit more, because it did appear in that letter that the last person found before they were shot in the head, or you know, suddenly shot and taken off somewhere. Where the fuck was Zane actually? Mr. Bloody guard the island from things, and somehow he let that get by him. Git. How does Snooty Booty keep finding experimental cosmetics? We're on an island in the middle of nowhere, it makes no sense. And this is one from the incinerator, no less. I decided to run some tests on it, Snooty Booty developed some nasty welts after using this cream. I want to see what it's made from. I have a feeling this is not something the professor would want me to be poking around in. So I've come to the lab late at night, make sure I don't get any unwanted attention. I'm quickly able to identify a number of common natural skincare ingredients like shea butter and chamomile, but there are some other compounds that I can't immediately identify. I check for cat saliva, maybe we're looking at the same kind of product as the stuff Suzy Booty washed up on the beach, but no match. I run the sample through the database of organic compounds to see if there are any other matches. As I suspected, the cream uses other cat-based ingredients. Aww. This time it looks like cat urine. Oh, cat urine is being used. Cat piss? No wonder it smelt bloody awful, eh? Have you ever smelt cat piss? It's bloody disgusting, it really is. I had better not share that little discovery with Snooty Booty. No, I think she'd be quite mortified. I decided to check for any clues out by the incinerator. Maybe I can find out a little more about where these things are coming from. At the back of the tent there are a couple of large pits for disposable harmful waste from the lab. There's nothing incinerating right now, so I can dig around a little and smoldering the ashes, tentatively moving the debris with a stick. So far it seems to be just soot and cinders, no clues. Silence is disrupted by the sound of someone entering the lab. I make myself scarce by crawling around the far side of a nearby bush. As luck would have it, I happen to have ended up at an ideal vantage point to be able to see into the lab through the gap in the canvas. I knew it! I knew it! They're working for him. In a large crowd, I recognise them as the ferryman and his son. Professor Purrfect is with him. He directs them to place the crate on the worktop. The professor reaches in and brings out a small tub of what looks identical to the one Snooty Booty found. My guess is that this is the next batch for testing. The professor stops what he's doing abruptly and looks at his catalogue. I assume he's receiving a phone call. He dismisses the two men and waves hand. As soon as they're gone, he turns his attention to the catalogue. He looks anxious as he speaks. Yes, they've been delivered. I shall make a start first thing tomorrow morning. Yes, madam. I certainly will, madam. With all due respect, I do understand the urgency, but I'm sure you understand the need for thoroughness. I can assure you it will be ready for the deadline. Testing on sample 104 is going far more smoothly than 103. The improvements are very encouraging. There is a long silence. From the expression on his face, I imagine he is being lectured. It is very important to cross-check it with data here. The island itself has a significant effect on the samples. We still have some tests left to do. We are making progress, of course. I shall let you know right away. The call ends abruptly. Presumably, Madam cut him off. He looks angrier than I've ever seen him. He marches out the lab and heads off in the direction of his tent. I sneak away from the bushes and head back to my own tent. I can continue my investigations another time. Rather than continue them now. Oh, 50%. What was that? How to unlocks after completing chapter 5. Oh, I thought I said research 5. Research 10. That's research 10, but it's not done until after research 13, for God's sake. Alright, let's go tagging, shall we? Tagging and scanning. Here, kitty kitty. Tag and scan routine. The sun is beginning to set, and the beach is cooler. This is hunting time, so in theory, more cats will be drawn out from their hidey holes. The other time for tagging is midday, when they're... sorry, they're ageless. Sorry about that. But I find the heat too intense to come to this part of the island at that time. Something catches my eye and leads me to the forest. Oh, here, kitty. Just me. Oh, hi, Kibbles. How's it going? Define it. Ooh, what's that thing? Kibbles is already eyeing my chipping pen. Looks like a weapon. Is it a weapon? No. Well, kind of. Do you want me to show you how it works? Kibbles gives me an exasperated look. How dumb do you think I am, human? Look, you'd be doing me a huge favour if you just let me use this thing on you. Oh yeah? Yes, I don't think I can actually tag you twice. I need all the practice I can get. Well then, catch me if you can. Just dickhead. I hear a "Nyah" echo throughout the forest as Kibbles seems to disappear before my very eyes. Impressive. How'd you do that, Kibbles? Come back. I won't shoot you, okay? I'll even let you have a go if you can show me how you disappeared so fast. He won't come back now. What startles me? He's like the Scarlet Pimpernel. I turned to see a mid-sized brown-haired cat scratching the trunk of the tree. Oh, hello. I don't think we've met before. My name's... I know who you are, Turntail. The island is buzzing with news about you. Turntail? What does that mean? I really am going to have to scan her. Kibbles leaps from nowhere and pins the new cat to the floor. Shoot her! Oh, sorry. This won't hurt, it's all for your own good, so we can make sure you stay safe and healthy. I seized my opportunity to move fast. Moldy grabbed the scruff of her neck, and before I finished speaking, I pressed the pin between her shoulder blades and released the microchip. There, all done. Wasn't so bad, was it? Whoa, awesome! Can I shoot the next one? I doubt that, Kibbles. I wiggle my thumbs in his direction. Aw, man, I gotta get some of those. Can I get up now? I have things to do. Kibbles. He remains pinning the other cat. I reach for the spray bottle in my pocket, and he leaps away with a laugh. Off you go then to do your things. Anything I can help you with? No, just duties. Must get everything done. Oh, okay, I'm going to have to enter data for you in this catalogue. How about we call you B? B? Because you're so busy? Busy B! Look, B, it'd be good if I could get you to come to the camp and check you over and make a note of your details. If you want to drop by when you're free, that would be great. Otherwise, I'll have to come back with a cat carrier. Not so great. I'll come by. I'll let her in place. Cat slinks off. Do you know her, Kibbs? Kibbles emerges from his hiding place in the tree. Yeah, I know her. Is she okay? She seems a bit unhappy. Oh, she's fine. She's just like you is all. Like me? What do you mean? You're the scientist. You work it out. In other words, there's another assistant that's been transformed. It can't be the last character because she got shot. And it doesn't look like the other characters, which 3 were male. Yeah, the 3 were male, so... Kibbles vanishes again. Letty Kibbles. Oh, do a bit more recon. I've got to focus on finding an antidote. It's time to run some tests on myself and get things moving first. Oh yeah, I've completed that one. This computer might have things, but I might find something useful in the piles of stuff they're moving. I know I'm only on this vein, but I can barely lift my eyelids. I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to today or dreading it. I've promised to go in 2 hours early so I can help with the monthly inventory and deep cleanse of the lab. It's not the work I'm anxious about, but the fact that I'm doing it with the marigolds. They're an odd pair. They certainly don't say much, and I quite often feel that they're judging me. Oh well, the sooner I get there, the sooner it'll be over. As I approach the lab, I can hear their voices raised in stage-type whispers. They're obviously having a row that they don't want anyone else to hear. I loiter around for a few minutes, see if I can pick up any tidbits that would be helpful. I'm not nosy, I'm just curious. It's a cat, Mason, okay? A cat. All it cares about is sleeping and eating. It's still a living thing, Mura. A living thing! It's glorified vermin is what it is. You're putting us at risk. He isn't the sort of person to mess with, Mason. Loyalty to the company is the #1 priority in their eyes. I have been loyal. It's my allegiance that's changing, not my... It's my allegiance that's changing, not my loyalty. Do you know how ridiculous you sound? Allegiance to who? A bunch of cats? Or, you know they're not just cats. You knew when we signed our contracts. Not fully. It's different anyway. In real life, living with them, knowing them. Knowing them? You know what I mean. I know if you mess this up, we'll be destitute, at best. I feel I can't put this off any longer. Good morning. Ah, there you're here. I'm not late, am I? Not at all. We were just discussing how to proceed. They exchange glances. You two can get on with a stock check. Leave the sanitation to me. Sounds good to me. Where do we begin, Mr. Marigold? Call me Mason. I have the list here. So I'll call the item and you tell me how many we have. Okay, Mason, and if I'm in your way, just let me know. This is Marigold, yes. Yes, I'll be sure to. But if we each mind our own business, well, I'm sure it would work out fine, dear. The tension in the air is tangible. This could be a very long 2 hours. Definitely. It's start with the top shelf of the large metal cabinet. Standard issue test tubes, 20 boxes. Petri dishes, 10 boxes, mixed sizes. Beakers, large, 25. Oh, bloody hell, I'm being disturbed. Wait a sec. Sorry about that. Beakers, medium, 20. Only 20? That's a bit low. Have we had more breakages than usual? I signed on to tell them that sometimes use them as tea mugs. And there are at least 3 in my tent, growing mould as we speak. Yes, we've all been a bit clumsy lately. I know one was knocked off the counter by McMurphy this week. Nothing but trouble, them cats. Mrs. Marigold continues with the stock take as though he didn't hear his wife. We move on to the next shelf and the next, until we've almost finished the entire inventory. Oh, yeah. We are coming to the end of the drugs cabinet. Ketamine, 50ml, 8 balls. That can't be right. It says that we are in stock of that we normally have stock 30. See for yourself. 2, 4, 6, 8. Do you use a lot of that then? No, on the contrary, it's mostly used just for anaesthetizing. We rarely do that kind of surgery. Well, that's a mystery. I wonder what it could be being used for. It would be a lot quicker if you stick to your counting and leave the wondering up to the professor. We finish the rest of the job without any unnecessary chat. We all seem to be deep in our own thoughts. Mine are all about where the amount of ketamine might be disappearing to, and for what purpose. Suddenly I don't feel too good. Yeah, if it's like an anesthetic, then clearly it must have been given to I don't know, you could use it for all kinds of nefarious things, to be honest. Restored energy like magic! Right, let's research this shit. Eli horses, I'm sure, and handle it. Yeah, let's feed these kittens. It's too early. The world isn't meant to be seen. The world isn't meant to be seen before 7 o'clock. These early mornings are still a shock to me, but I'm hitting my stride quicker. I like to get the kittens fed and cleaned out before my breakfast. It's easy to do it before the rest of the camp's awake and there are less distractions. I prepare the mush and my stomach turns at the milky smell so early in the day. I get the swab tray ready and grab a handful of kitty treats. Yeah, if I remember, there's that the cat lady online. She looks after like really young kittens, and you have to do a lot of nasty things because they're essentially at a baby stage, you know. As opposed to kittens you take home, these are kittens that require a lot of, you know, constant care. Hello, babies. I've been in the cages sleeping for kittens, so cute. They're just waking up and ready for breakfast. I do a quick head count. 12, good. No one tunneled out in the good night. Come on then, let's get you swabbed. I grab the first sleepy kitten. No more than more than a ball of fluff, and as it opens its mouth to yawn, I dart it with a swab, bottle it, and onto the next furball. You're getting good at this. Oh, Trix, you're up early. Going to bed late, actually. I keep swabbing. In no time, I've got all 12 little cats in the feeding cage, and have begun cleaning out the sleeping area. Aw, cute! How long will they stay here for? I'm not sure. Generally they're kept here for about 10 weeks, and then some are released back into the wild immediately, but some are moved to be examined further. I'm still getting the hang of how it works around here. It's a shame that they aren't all released, isn't it? Yes, I suppose so, but they'll all be released eventually, just some later than others. I don't quite believe that, personally. You think so? Well, yes, unless they're very poorly, like Ravenpaw. Trixie winces at the name of the cat's name. Very few of those kittens actually got released into the wild, Alicia. What do you mean? Of course they do, as long as they're healthy. Oh, wow, and you know this, do you? You released them yourself? Well, no, but Professor Purrfect has taught me that the kittens get discharged at between 10 to 12 weeks. Oh, I see. Trixie smiles, but it looks fake. If I were you, I'd tag one of his litter. Oh no, they're too young for tagging. You have to wait until they're at least 12 weeks. That one over there, he looks very healthy. I'm sure if you tagged him, you'd be able to see for yourself what happens to the healthy kittens. As I go to answer, I hear a breakfast bell in the distance. Oh, Cinderella has to fly! The calico cat is gone as quickly as she appeared. Come on then, kitties. Let's get you back into your nice clean cage. I can't help but think about what Trixie has said. She seems generally concerned, and there must be some basis for that. After all, she has been here a lot longer than me. Maybe tagging on the kittens wouldn't be such a bad idea. What would be the harm? Yeah, tag him. Go then back to, before I finish my sentence, my hand grabs a chip and I've tagged the plump grey male. Probably silly, but it wouldn't harm you, and it could teach me something useful. Yes, like what he's hiding. Yes, unlocks. Here we go, final research. Yep, I'm ready. Medical trial. Professor Purrfect says we'll be testing some experimental medicines today. I just hope I have the stomach for it. Yeah, let's do the medical trial, see if we can get a hint as to what's been going on. I arrived at the lab a little later than usual today. I got held up by an incredibly important task of petting all the cats I saw on the way in. Really crucial stuff. As I enter, I see a large, unmarked wooden box on the table. Morning, Professor. I wasn't expecting to be working along with me today. I'm not, I'm afraid. I'm actually in rather a hurry, but I need to explain to you the new protocol I'd like you to carry out for me. He opens the lid of the crate, and inside are rows of small clear bottles, each containing white fluid. What's this? Milk? No, these are samples of our offshore lab. Samples of what? So many questions! Curiosity is a marvellous trait for a scientist. Now, I want you to run some tests on these. I want you to check how they respond to contact with compounds 16, 18 and 24. Yeah, I see you dodging the question there, you crazed weirdo. There's a reason why I named my first video The Island of Dr. Pauper. I notice how deftly he evaded my question. Once you've done that, provided there are no complications, I'll need you to apply the sample to some of the cats and record the results. I beg your pardon? Apply the sample to the cats, Alicia. We're looking for specific reactors. Of course, Sword, but oughtn't I have a little more information before I start applying an untested product to living subjects? Look, Alicia, I understand your concerns. Of course I do. However, once in a while, one has to trim the red tape, and this is one of those occasions. Now, I really am in the most awful rush, my dear, but I have complete faith in you. Suddenly, I'm alone. I pick up one of the samples from the box. It looks like a miniature milk bottle, but the fluid inside is creamier than milk. Oh. Sounds like some sort of nasty ichor or something. I retrieved the compounds from the cabinet that the professor wanted me to test, and spent some time combining them with the sample. From what I can tell, the compounds are some kind of organic material, but no one has told me where they come from or what they actually are. I look at them under the microscope one by one and add a little of the sample. It's a bit like glue, so it's hard to get it to combine, but once I do, something odd happens. The dead cells that make up the compound start to move excitedly. They aren't coming back to life exactly, but they're behaving like living cells. That's strange. I have no idea what this stuff is, or its intended use, but I do know that I feel uncomfortable applying it to living subjects. I look at the cats in their cages. They look back at me with their trusting eyes. I don't want to administer the sample. No, I'm not going to do it. Because this is withholding information, I think the only way that I put the responsibility back on him. He can carry out the procedure himself. I sent Purrfect a message from my catalogue. Professor, I feel I cannot continue my task today until I understand the implications of what it is I am being asked to do with the cats. I don't get a reply right away. Eventually, catalogue responds and replies, "Oh dear, that's disappointing. We haven't even replied if you could just give me some little more information. If you really are having such difficulties in carrying out your duties, perhaps it would be best for me to find someone who is better equipped. I'm afraid I may lose my job if I don't administer the sample." I'll back down for now. And retrieve Muffin, a slightly plump Persian. She starts purring as soon as I touch her. She's a little older than the other cats and loves the attention. However, so does Nana. I get a little sample and apply it gently on one of the legs. She seems a bit put out, but she's still purring. That's a good sign. I wait about 20 minutes and nothing has happened. Hopefully another good sign. I apply a little more to the back of her neck this time. I feel really uncomfortable doing this without any recommended dosage or guidelines. Flying blind goes against all my training to date, but I have faith that the professor knows what he's doing. This is his project after all. Over 20 minutes, I don't notice anything physical, but Muffin does seem to have a little more energy than usual. She's happily chasing my pen across the counter. I wrestle the pen out of her grip and make some notes of my observations, and place her gently back in her cage. No, crate. I decided to spend the night in the lab. I didn't want to leave her alone, just in case anything happens, but by 4 AM, Muffin is sleeping soundly, and I can't keep my eyes open any longer, so I head back to my tent. Like some kind of stimulant. Of course, if I continued to refuse, then that would have allowed the other achievement for getting kicked out. I got another to gather my thoughts. This morning, I noticed another change in my appearance. Yeah, up until now, I've been able to hide this, blah blah blah. I can't risk anyone finding me. Here, split hair. The shade is perfect. She's indicating a small spot of sand beneath a large palm tree for our midday nap. I'm beginning to spend the old blanket I've been dragging behind me. It's the one I used to have on my bunk when I lived in the tent. That memory is beginning to fade a little around the edges. I still recall how conflicted I felt, though. I knew I wanted to be with Snooty, but I had a strong urge to keep working on the antidote. Eventually the decision was made for me. I found it too difficult to remember things in the lab. I kept making mistakes. Then I just sort of allowed myself to sink into my transition. It was quite gentle, and the reward was worth any problems. Oh, she's turned into a ginger puss. Favourite breed, favourite kind of breed, actually. My mum's the favourite breed. Yes, this bit of shade is perfect, just like you. But really, Snoots, I don't know why you need this whole thing. The sand is so soft and warm. Also, it creeps me out a bit. It reminds me... Oh, for goodness sake, Alicia, you've been a cat for 5 minutes, and already you know what's best for us. May I remind you that you have fur to protect your skin, but mine is exposed and far more delicate. I suppress a giggle. Yes, of course, my love. You have skin like the wings of a butterfly. Yes, and I have no idea why that amuses you so. I'm just happy. You make me happy. Well, you could make me very happy right now. Name it. There's nothing I wouldn't do for you. You really ought to be more mindful of those rash declarations. I mean it. Just name it. Anything. Well, fortunately, I have a very kind and humble nature, so I shan't take advantage of your simplicity. All I want is that you fan me with the palm leaf. I look around until I find one I can comfortably curl my tail around. This isn't nearly as easy as it used to be. But practice makes perfect, my dear. We settle down in the peace and quiet of the afternoon. Me gently wafting the palm leaf over a snoozing Snoots. How much more blissful could life be? I'm half tempted to warn the new assistant to just throw in the towel from the start and join us, but I suppose they have their own journeys, and I'm so glad I found mine. Chapter 5! Meow! Yep. Fission! Whatever that means. The final chapter. Oh, Mr. Wig? Human, we need to talk to you. Save it, I don't know how this goes. Did I miss anything? Oh, no. Wow, you really did read them. Yep, front to back. Yes, are you going to help us or not? Yeah. No, whatever. Good day job. Oh, for God's sake, another message. Don't give the game away. What? Don't give the game away? What could that mean? I better leave it. Yeah, return the main menu for now. Alright, you all have a good night. Night.